Hello Mummies Alive fans, I'm Spicy, and this is a video I want to make for a long time. Given the rise in views I've seen in videos where I'm sawing off story elements and talking about specific episodes and characters, I thought it might be a good idea to make a video talking about a specific character from the show, discussing their story, abilities, characteristics, and many other trivia about them, and not only reintroduce said character to the fans of the franchise, but also newcomers to the series. And what other characters start this potential series off with, other than the man, the legend, the royal hunter and leader of the mummies himself, Ja-Kal. Also, don't forget to stay tuned until the end of the video where I'm going to share a very special Mummies Alive project I've been working on for the last couple of months. And with that, let's get started. Ja-Kal was originally conceived in 1996, more than a year before Mummies Alive aired. Looking at his original concept art, we can see many interesting details. Originally, he was going to have armor placed on his wrists and ankles, collar armor, a different loincloth around his waist, pieces of bandages covering his cheeks, and most notably, he would be missing one of his eyes. The color blue was chosen for Ja-Kal when his second major redesign came along, now missing all of his armor, having a more complicated loincloth design, a different, more angular amulet design in comparison to his final one, but he would still lack an eye and bandaged nose, rather keeping his bandaged cheeks instead. His final major design finally ditched the bandaged cheeks and missing eye, giving him the familiar face we know today. He also received his classic loincloth and a simpler, rounder falcon amulet. His human designed outfit changed almost completely, originally having a more complicated armor pattern and a more intricately designed helmet before opting for a simpler, round design. Finally, his armor appears to have remained largely unchanged, all with the exception of a blue mark on his feet, which will later change to the familiar yellow-gold color. His armor was based on a falcon archetype, largely inspired by the designs in the series Stargate, which would feature armor designs based around ancient Egyptian gods, including one based on Horus, which Ja-Kal's armor bears a great resemblance to. It's easy to assume his armor was the first one to be designed, and was used as the archetype for the other characters' appearance. In animation, Ja-Kal's movement was designed to be strong, fierce, and solid, to mark his connection as both the leader of the mummies and also a good hunter. Animators were also instructed to play around with his brow and nose ring bandages to form expressions with attitude. D.L. Wilson was chosen for the voice of Ja-Kal, who had previous voice acting roles in shows such as G.I. Joe, Street Fighter the Animated Series, and will later become Cell in the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z. Ja-Kal was an ancient Egyptian hunter who lived in Memphis about 3,500 years ago. While not much is known about his childhood, Ja-Kal did mention his unnamed father, who he went fishing trips with. Growing up, he also had an older brother named Rath, who would eventually have a son, Ja-Kal's nephew, named Kimas. Unbeknownst to Ja-Kal, Rath would become extremely jealous of him, claiming that they would compete for both their father's attention and in school. His jealousy would eventually make Rath turn on his brother when he saved both his and the pharaoh Amenhotep's life from a lion attack. In a fit of rage, Rath claimed he could have handled the lion himself, and that Ja-Kal always wished for him to fail before leaving the scene furious.
You're my brother! I saved your life! Your words are as cruel as a scorpion.
I am a scorpion. Be careful I don't sting you.
Amenhotep then gave Ja-Kal the role of the royal hunter, making Ja-Kal one of his trusted warriors, and also in trust of watching over his son and teaching him to hunt. Ja-Kal would later love a woman named Tia and have a son together named Paget. Tia often complained how seriously Ja-Kal took his duties and that she'd wished for him to spend more time with her and her son instead, but Ja-Kal tried to explain to her how serious his duties being the prince's protector actually were.
I must tell Ja-Kal where I am going.
Your guardians cannot be trusted, especially Ja-Kal.
When Scarab finally put his evil plans in motion to kill Prince Rapses and become immortal in order to take the throne, Ja-Kal was called alongside the prince's other guardians to find the boy prince. However, they arrived too late in the scene, being ambushed by Scarab's Sapthi army and quickly being overtaken. Rath returned, now possessing magical scorpion armor, and took his revenge on Ja-Kal, presumably killing, or at least, fatally wounding him. Ja-Kal, alongside the other guardians, would be mummified after the battle with Scarab. For thousands of years they remained dormant until 997, when the sarcophagi would be transported to San Francisco for the Rapses exhibit, a museum exhibit funded by Scarab, who had also survived the millennia, as a means to draw out the reincarnation of Prince Rapses. There, they would be awakened by Presley Carnovan, a 12-year-old boy, and the reincarnation of Rapses.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Help! Oh no.
Ja-Kal set his new duty as protecting Presley from the evil doings of Scarab. Throughout the series, he would face multiple challenges given to him not just by Scarab, but the alien moral world he was now in as well. Being the leader of the mummies, he needed to be the most level-headed of the group and always think twice before performing any action, even if that meant his own sacrifice.
The boy is mine.
Not while we are here.
Arak would eventually be brought back to San Francisco by Scarab as well, and using his nephew Kimas as bait, they would challenge and defeat Ja-Kal, causing him serious injuries. Ja-Kal, however, using his kind heart, he would be able to get Kimas on his side, make him turn on his evil father before being sent through the Western Gate. This series of events would finally make Ja-Kal question his duties as the Pharaoh's protector, and he would finally start looking after his own family and well-being. Ja-Kal possesses a number of different skills and magical abilities shown throughout the series. Right off the bat, he's a skilled hunter and excellent tracker, going on frequent scouting trips throughout San Francisco and getting himself familiar with his surroundings. He also has great leadership skills, being able to coordinate the rest of the mummies, and is usually the one to come up with attack formations. Ja-Kal is very knowledgeable in Egyptian, knowing a multitude of different combat moves, and unlike the other mummies, Ja-Kal is shown to be very efficient with a number of different weapons, being originally a spear bearer, but primarily using his bow and arrows to fight, which includes normal arrows and arrows with nets in them. Ja-Kal also occasionally uses the boomerang, a boomerang-like razor-sharp weapon. After being mummified, Ja-Kal now has the fright sight or shriek ability, where he is able to alter his appearance into a more monstrous-like form to scare off his opponents. He can also manipulate his bandages to perform many different tasks, such as being used as grappling hooks. Also, Ja-Kal received the Falcon amulet given to him post-mortem, which allows him to power up and gain magical armor, all with its own set of special abilities, albeit for a short period of time before running out of power. In his powered up form, he gains sharp claws, which makes Ja-Kal able to cut through most elements with ease. His normal arrows cannot be surrounded or even entirely made of fire, usually adding more power to them. Ja-Kal also gains a pair of golden wings he used to fly, which are neatly stored in a backpack-like compartment on his back and can also be used to slice through enemies. It's also worth noting that Ja-Kal keeps a net on his loincloth, which he used to save his teammates from a fall, and could briefly fire energy beams in one episode after being under the influence of the obelisk, which would also alter his personality. The aforementioned missing eye trait that was in Ja-Kal's early concept art would be given to his brother Arak down development. Ja-Kal has the most variety in regards to his fright sight faces, showing at least 3 unique faces across the series. One of Ja-Kal's signature elements is saying quotes and little phrases centered on animals, usually to make a point or give an example of a situation.
You are wise, young prince. Even the desert lion retreats when the pack of hunting dogs is too large.
Has a graceful gazelle caught the eye of the young lion? The vulture is most likely to attack when the lion plays with the hyena. Wait, is that how it goes?
Don't ask me. I never have understood your little phrases.
Ja-Kal's transformation sequence is the only one, alongside Rath's, to feature an animal present in them, that being a fiery falcon. Throughout the series, Ja-Kal wants to be a proper father figure for Presley, and is shown to be jealous of his actual father, Paul Carnovan, as a way to make up for losing his own wife and son thousands of years ago. In an interview with the producer of Mummies Alive, Seth Kersley, it was revealed that one of the plans for Season 2 would be involving Ja-Kal in a romantic relationship with Presley's mom, Amanda. Once Presley becomes pharaoh, for Ja-Kal it's kind of like his job is done a little bit. I thought it might be cool to have something develop between Ja-Kal and Presley's mom, and have Ja-Kal become a bit of a father figure. Ja-Kal had the most figures in the toy line: a standard version, including the golden armor, a fright sight figure, which make his lower jaw and chest cavity exposed, as well as make his eyes pop out, a black bandage figure called the Battle-Ready Ja-Kal that came with a jet cycle, and most interestingly, a Night Hunter figure with brand new silver armor, blue bandages, and a spear-like weapon with a transparent shield, as well as a built-in action feature, a figure based on something that may have been an element in Season 2. On his action figure packaging, it's confirmed that the god of the skies, Horus, was a patron god of Ja-Kal. Interestingly, in ancient Egyptian mythology, Horus was missing one of his eyes he lost in his battle with the god Set. Before moving on with the end of the video, I want to discuss a project I've been working on for quite some time. For a couple of months now, I've been developing a project called Warriors of the Western Gate, which is a card game based on Mummies Alive. My end goal is to have a game all Mummies Alive fans can enjoy, that's free and most importantly, fun to play. I plan to talk more about the game on this channel and post more updates on the Mummies Alive Discord server, which I encourage you to join if you want to find out more about the project and talk with more fans of the series. And that will be it for Ja-Kal. I hope that I could provide some useful info on Ja-Kal's conception and role in the series. If you did enjoy this video, let me know in the comments below, and you can always show your support by liking and subscribing. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and guys, keep kicking Khati.